happier. Get rewarded. Win a hospitality experience for you and 3 friends, plus a signed bat with Vitality Health and Life Insurance. Scan to get a quote and enter.
All the fun and all the games, they all start here with All Stars Cricket. Skills, friendships, smiles, dreams. It all happens here. Every session is all-out action. All invited, even mums and dads. That, ball, catch, go. All stars and all stars.
We look cool and feel amazing.
Our games are full of action.
This is the way we play. Give it 100. Sign up now.
What are you doing here? You're here to see me? Well, come on then, I'm Edie. I'm 9, and this is my way to play. This is my club, Oakham. England have got their superstars, and I've got mine. Let me introduce them to you. First, the team keeping us fed. That smells good, Mum. Best team cricket. Meet the ground staff. They made the pitch perfect so I can hit massive sixes. That's massive! We're one big family here at Oakham. Speaking of family, that's my sister Charlotte. She taught me to score, and that's my brother Will. I played for his team once. I was the only one who didn't get out. Meet my coaches. They're helping me to become an England wicketkeeper, just like Amy Jones. I'm small, but I'm ready for anything. Right, Delish? Yeah. Imagine the most fun you can have. And double it, and double it, and double it again! But on a match day, we mean business. Girls, someone wants to say good luck.
Lightning fast behind the stumps, Edie. Let's go,
Oakham! Every cricketer starts somewhere, with the people who make it possible, my team, my club, and my heroes. I couldn't play the game without them, and I wouldn't change a single thing.
Right then, we are pretty much ready to get the coin toss underway for semi-final number 2. We know the Blaze have already advanced to the final. We've got the captains, Sophie Luff and Bryony Smith here as well. The match officials, let's do it then. Sophie, you'd like to do the honours. Up it goes in the air. Called heads over here. It is, what is it? Tails. Right then. Sophie, what are you going to do?
We're going to have a bowl. I think it's pretty obvious, obviously a shorter game. Hopefully it gives us the best chance of winning this game.
It is a short game, isn't it? It's a quick turnaround as well. How have you gone about preparations for this? Because you're kind of waiting and then you're waiting. At least you've seen the first one underway, so it's not quite as rushed for you guys.
Yeah, we've obviously had a couple hours at the ground. We're probably lucky that we could stay at the hotel for as long as possible and just try and chill out. But yeah, now it's time to switch on. Hopefully the girls are in a good place. OK, the chilling out ends right now. Good luck, go well today. Good to chat to you. Bryony, come in here. I assume, I don't want to speak, I assume you would have done
done the same thing?
Yeah, we would, but I actually don't mind. I think runs on the board could be a good thing. It's obviously we don't know much about conditions, so yeah, we'll be looking to get out there and getting a decent score on the board.
And it is tricky, isn't it? Because it's a quick one. It's kind of over in a flash. We've just seen in that first semi-final. So how do you got to get mindset ready and good to go?
Yeah, it's just I think we're prepped physically. We now just got to switch on, and we know we've got to go from ball one. But we've got some serious power in this team to hopefully put a good score on the board.
Certainly have. Go well. Have a good one today. They're going to Bryony Smith and Sophie Luff there. Somerset have won the toss. They will be coming out for a bowl first, so we're looking to put a total on the board. Who's going to make it to the final? Semi-final number 2 is heading away.
Get involved. Get healthier. Get rewarded. Win a hospitality experience for you and 3 friends, plus a signed bat with Vitality Health and Life Insurance. Scan to get a quote and enter.
Well, a warm welcome back to Old Trafford for semi-final 2 of the 2026 County Cup Finals Day. Somerset against Surrey. 2 sides who've had a bit of needle over recent times. It's been a very competitive head-to-head as well. Facing off for the chance to meet Blaze, who've just comfortably beat Essex. And speaking of comfortably, I'm always comfortable when I've got the pleasure of the company of Georgie Heath. Georgie, we've had a strange old day, haven't we? But to everyone's amazement, and I think bemusement is also the word, we've got more live cricket.
We have had a very strange old day. Considering about 2 hours ago I was asleep on the floor of this room with my legs up on a chair, and now we've already had 1 semi-final. We're on to semi-final number 2. I mean, kudos to the ground staff, especially because it did look like it was just going to rain continually, and they got the covers off quickly and managed to ensure things got underway very speedily. And now we're on to semi-final number 2. Blaze made the first one look pretty easy in the end with that chase. Emma Jones kept trying to go for that sort of switch reverse. Tried, failed, tried, failed, tried again. Finally it paid off, and so she did so nice, she did it twice.
Yeah, it feels like only 5 minutes ago, albeit time assures us it wasn't, that I was sat in this very commentary box interviewing Kirsty Gordon about life in the dressing room, waiting to find out what was going to happen, being like the Big Brother house.
And their plans for the bowl-off.
Yes, exactly. And now, here we are. It's another 5-over affair, this one, because it starts at almost the exact time the final was due to start. More information on the final coming later, because the final is not actually guaranteed to be just a 5-over game, but this one is. Let's give you the team news from both sides. Somerset are unchanged from the side that took victory in their County Cup quarter-final when defeating the T20 Blast Group winners Hampshire on the nursery ground in what was seen as a bit of a surprise result. Bex Odgers, Sophie Luff, the skipper, Emma Corney, Heaven Knight, pretty handy young rookie there coming through, Niamh Holland, Alex Griffiths, Chloe Skelton, Jess Hazel, Ellie Anderson, and the talented teenage leg spinner Lola Harris up against a Surrey side who were T20 Blast winners last season, and they are skippered by Bryony Smith with Ailish Cranstone, Kira Chatley, soon to be on England duty, Jemima Spence, Phoebe Franklin, Alice Monaghan, Alice Davison Richards, Bethan Miles, reintroduced this season, Danny Gregory, Kalia Moore. And the one change from their quarter-final win, which came against last season's semi-finalist Warwickshire, is Priyanaz Chatterjee comes in for Izzy Sidhu. So Somerset unchanged, Surrey making just the one. I mentioned just how competitive these sides have been. They've had 2 T20 matches this season. Both have been won by the away team chasing in the final over. There was a massive win for Somerset in the Metrobank 50-over competition, and across 7 head-to-heads since the start of last season, it is Surrey who edge it 4-3. So really, these sides are incredibly sort of close, and there is a bit of a feeling within the Somerset camp that they often tend to raise their game against Surrey. They often seem to play some of their best cricket. against the Free Feathers.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? You talk about it going down to that last over. Well, the last over in this one is only 4 overs after the first one, so it's very different to make that comparison, you would say, playing a 5-over-a-side game, and neither of them are the home or away team because neither of them belong at Old Trafford. So difficult to make comparisons on that side, of course, and then semi-final pressure. It's going to be an interesting one, I reckon, this one. And you've got someone like Heather Knight back in that side down at Somerset. Obviously retired from internationals earlier on this season, is back with Somerset again. And you just know, if you think that someone like her can get going in a 5-over game, it can make a chase pretty easy.
I guess what you would say, though, just pointing to those tea leaves, is there's no obvious favourite in this semi-final. Unlike in Essex versus the Blaze, where Essex were quite clearly coming in as the underdog. Somerset have been superb this season. Sophie Luff said we're playing with a lot of freedom and belief, which we probably didn't see too much of last year, and that's come a little bit from the head coach Erin Osborne, who's talked about taking attacking options, looking to progress the game, playing to our strengths. Has described this as a young group with so much room to develop. They've been a different animal in T20 cricket this season, frankly, Somerset. They've won, they last season won just 1 game from 14 in the Blast. They did have a couple of no results and a tie, but still, they lost their first 8 completed games. They were miles off it. Their big target this season internally has been to improve their T20 cricket. Well, this season, instead, they find themselves middling in the Blast, but still with, ultimately, they were far more competitive than they previously had been, and they're in a finals day for the first time since the Western Storm days of 2019. And it's kind of a neat bit of symmetry that Sophie Luff was a big part of that. Now she's skipper, and Heather Knight has come full circle, having been in that Storm era a key player. She's back from England duty and has the chance to take some much-awaited, long-awaited silverware on the very, very long trip back to Taunton.
It feels like a different world, doesn't it? 2019, the pre-COVID times, it feels like a sort of stopgap in the middle of all our lives. It was one world, that side of it, and then a different world, this side. So it will be interesting to see Somerset back into a finals day. They'll be excited by this one. Obviously, their men have done the business in the last few years, at times lifting trophies, and now it's a chance for the women to put themselves in a final, take on Blaze in that final. Blaze will probably be sat with some cups of tea, just ready to watch the action unfold. It's only 10 overs, so it's not like they've got too much to have to sit and watch.
Your umpires, Gabby Brown and Julia Jarvis. And Surrey shorn of quite a bit of their England contingent. Alice Capsey, Sophia Dunkley, Tilly Courtine-Coleman, all unavailable because of, and I quote, a heavy workload owing to 3 ODI games in a week, and the proximity of finals day has contributed to that. No Rhiannon McDonald-Gay either.
And of course, Danny Wire-Hodge.
Yes.
Out injured. So, yeah, I think that's the problem as well, isn't it? You can do so well producing all these incredible players, and then they just go off on England duty selfishly.
Yeah, Somerset have benefited from a young group that they've kept faith with, and from last season those players are a little bit older, a little bit more experienced. They are still, in terms of their regular side that they use, comfortably the youngest in Tier 1. Luff sort of jokes about being the grandparent of the team, and she is not that old at 32, but she does stick out quite a bit when you look down that card, as does Heather Knight. Charlie Dean unavailable also, with England versus Ireland starting soon. They've had the Brucey bonus of Dean being around a little bit this season. It would mean so much to Somerset to kind of get something to show for their improvement. We mentioned earlier on Essex going from 6 wins last season across everything to 11. Well, Somerset have kind of done something similar. They won 7 games in all competitive competitions last season. Well, they've won 13 already. They've already doubled that. The progress is there to see, and that is what's brought them to a stage like this. And now they have a 5-over game for a spot in their first final since 2019, which, as we referenced, kind of a millennium ago, beating the Vipers at Hove by 6 wickets with 4 balls to spare. Deepti Sharma got 39 not out, Knight with 78 not out, but that was the West Country region's last knockout game before today.
I'll tell you what, if Heather Knight scores 78 not out, I'm buying everyone a drink.
Might be quite an expensive promise, that.
She scores 78 not out in a 5-over game, then go on.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, It is interesting trying to gauge a score here, right? But I think the consensus is that Essex were comfortably under at 44.
Yeah.
Probably want north of 50 as a minimum, 10 and over.
So just going through the final last few huddles. Few words, what can we restrict them to here? We saw how easily 44 was chased down. Bryony Smith charging out.
And I've got to say, Sophie Luff in the centre of the shot there, I'm so happy to see her leading her Somerset team in the finals day. I've had the pleasure of commentating on quite a few of these women's finals and finals days across the last 4 seasons, and she's joined us in the commentary box for quite a few of them because Somerset haven't qualified. And you've seen, particularly when it was at Taunton last summer for that County Cup finals day, the disappointment for her that she couldn't be there having that moment. And there was a little interview clip that kind of summed it up nicely. She was doing that thing where you're giving an answer and you just stop to check yourself. She was saying, we've all worked so hard for this, and then she paused and she said, yeah, it feels like I've been working for a long, long time for this. Just allowing herself to drink that moment in. Bryony Smith will face up to the first ball. Kira Chatley is at the non-striker's end. And Ellie Anderson, fresh off a 5-foot in midweek, 5 for 40 against Warwickshire in the Metrobank One Day Cup, is ready to get semi-final 2 underway. We talked before about you've got to use the boundary dimensions cleverly here at Old Trafford. The big square boundaries. Well, there's 2 out, it looks like, for Somerset. Square leg and deep mid-wicket. They're going to try and encourage Bryony Smith to hit square rather than straight.
If you're Surrey, this is the kind of action you want to see for someone like Bryony Smith. She can really bludgeon a ball. She didn't quite find her feet in the 100. At times it was false shots played, but we do know the power that she has and what she's done for Surrey over the years as well. So she can get them up to a quick start here. Kira Chatley at the other end, she can hit a big ball too if required. They'll be eyeing up that north. What would you put down as you'd be pretty pleased with from your 5 overs?
60 to
60?
a ball. If at least one player gets in, that's probably around where I'd say Blaze might have ended up had they completed their overs against Essex, in that sort of a region. Smith, the 4th highest run scorer in the Blast this season, a massive part of Surrey getting through to a semi-final where at home they were put out by Blaze. Smith ready to face Anderson, semi-final 2. And Smith has minced that over mid-wicket's head for 6. The perfect start for Surrey. Their skipper Bryony Smith leading from the front. It was a short ball that just sat up and said, hit me.
Yeah, you can't be bowling there to Bryony Smith, and that is the absolutely perfect way to start this semi-final. Little bit short, just sat up, and then she's swatted that away.
Well, we talked about trying to get them to hit to the long boundary. That's all well and good, but if Bryony Smith nails it, she's still going to clear that. And this is over the offside, making room, flat back. Bit of hockey about it in the way it looked from Smith, who is 10 off 2.
Yeah, we said we wanted to go at 2 a ball. How about 5 a ball?
Well, 5 a ball is getting you 150.
Happy days. Easy. Especially for Bryony Smith, batting like that.
It's interesting. She said once upon a time about her batting, when it comes off, it comes off. I know it doesn't necessarily look pretty, but it feels good and it works for me. That's what cricket's about, doing what suits you. Oh, this is sliced. It should be gone. Oh, it's dropped. It's dropped. Oh dear. Niamh Holland might have swirled in the wind, looked to have misjudged it, and she only really got the edge of her fingertips on it.
It's one of those, it just hangs in the air, and you know how important a wicket of someone like Bryony Smith is. She waits, and then she just never really got her hands to it, just sort of grasped at the air, broken the end off her fingernail almost, but it's whether she lost it in the white sky, the floodlight overhead, but you should be taking those.
One of Somerset's star all-rounders of the season gives Smith a life. Kira Chatley faces up. She'll head off to England duty shortly after this. And that's a nice start for Chatley, going back and just using the pace. So Chatley immediately gets a boundary. Surrey are absolutely flying. They are 15 for none off 4.
Yeah, too easy. Too much width on offer for someone of Kira Chatley's class. She's already been recognised by England, called up to that squad again. And just cut away nicely, plays it late, waits for it.
And she got a very good bit of confidence coming into this final stage, thanks to a midweek not out on a tricky pitch at Ampleforth to take Surrey home against Yorkshire in the Metro Bank. Different situation here, but she's made a great start. Going to get more runs here. Will be just one.
She set off for that really hard, turned fast, and Bryony Smith is sort of not even looking in her direction. Not a chance she was going back for a second there.
So where does Smith go here? Does she go inside out, try and make room? It's still that ring of 5 on the offside. We are in the very short power play period.
Yeah, she's got to target Smith, not give her room to free up her arms here, because if she can swing, she'll swing big like that first delivery.
And Smith down the ground this time. And that has cleared the rope by a long, long way. What a first over for Surrey and for Bryony Smith. 22 come off it. And when you think of how short a game it is, that is a seismic swing of the pendulum towards the Londoners.
Well, that's half of what Essex made in their full 5 overs, and they've done it in just the first over. Bryony Smith, that sounded meaty out of the middle of the bat. She's 17 from 4. Kira Chatley, 5 from 2. She'll be on strike for the beginning of this second over. But they'll be mighty pleased with this start to proceedings in this semi-final, Surrey.
Now a team that's full of experience. They were runners-up in this competition last season. They were a bit unlucky to come up against a Lancashire team featuring a certain pair of pretty handy bowlers of Sophie Eccleston and Kate Cross, who were popping back in from England duties. Looking to go one better. That's a nice delivery and a good use of spin to try and change the dynamic. Lola Harris, the teenage leggy, who's probably been one of, if not the breakthrough player in women's Tier 1 cricket this season. And that's what she'll do. She won't try and bowl quick. Try and use her flight and dip and drift. It's good again from Harris, who can't quite hold on, but it is only a single, which is still a big advantage to Somerset in quite a short game.
Yeah, she might be disappointed with this. She got herself set in her follow through. So often you can still almost be falling away, but she was set head up, hands up, and just parried it.
Steps a long way across and helps it. Intelligent manipulation of the field from Smith, who just created length and created an angle.
Made it look so easy, and like she had ample time there. Bryony Smith moved across so early, showing she would have been showing 6 stumps if there'd been 6 stumps. Gave herself plenty of room.
So Harris has got to respond. Evan Knight said Lola's been really impressive, quite brave with the pace that she bowls. Tries and spins it like a traditional leggy. She's been a real cog in this team. What has she got? And she's got a fuller delivery that it's too full really. It gives a chance for Smith to crunch that bottom hand for it, and that has gone for 4 as well. So back-to-back boundaries. Desperate effort out there, but ultimately one in vain from Chloe Skelton.
Well, this is just obscene from Bryony Smith. She's now 25 from 6.
Well, if Bryony Smith was batting on her own and facing all 30 balls, she would be projected for 150 at this rate. And it has forced a change in the field, so square legs come up. Don't be surprised to see Smith step across here and look to access that gap, or maybe even sweep. Cover's gone out. Well, there you go. Smith wanted to get it through square leg. This is actually clever bowling, and it should be run out. It is run out. So Bryony Smith is out. Chatley had charged through for the single, and Surrey will be frustrated. They've slightly shot themselves in the foot there. Smith didn't need to be run out. She was cruising along, and she's gone for 25 from 7.
Yeah, that's really silly cricket. Chatley just set off without really thinking. Smith gave herself plenty of room, so it looked like she was going to swing across the leg side. Chatley sets off. She can see that the ball's basically gone straight to the fielder. She goes to the other end. Actually, you see she bats herself on her head, knowing that's really silly. Throw came in, very easily taken in the end. And that's the big wicket. They needed rid of Bryony Smith because she was going like a bat out of hell at the top of this order.
Yeah, Chatley's almost got sucked into that thinking of that it's a hit and run game because it's a 5-over game, but a wicket of Smith's value is still a tremendous change up. As here's Jemima Spence. Spence, who in a Surrey team that's quite hard to break into, has done her very best to make herself undroppable this season, and she only turned 20 at the start of July. Had a very good breakout blast, striking at 140. She could be gone here, should be gone. Oh, the fielder's completely misjudged it. It's over the head of Skelton, who ran in too far. Well, that is an unenforced error, and it's Somerset's turn to make one. It should have been 2 wickets in 2 balls. You have to feel for Harris. It goes for 4, 35 for 1 off 2.
Yeah, it's a very strange bit of fielding. She came sprinting off the rope and then suddenly had the realisation she completely misjudged it in the air, whether there's that lack of depth perception with the floodlight and the white-grey clouds overhead. But in the end, just sort of ends up waving her arms in the air and sort of awkwardly watching it fly over her head for 4.
So Spence is taking guard. Beg your pardon, of course it was Chatley who hit that shot because Chatley had ended up at the striker's end from the attempted run. So 3rd over, and Somerset I think quite understandably sticking with spin. Olivia Barnes, a left arm finger spinner from Margate, one of so many to have come through that Kent pathway over the years. She was in the Stars Academy for a couple of years as well. So in another life, she might have ended up at Surrey. That's a good start from Barnes.
Well, Spencer's been watching Emma Jones.
I don't think Spence needs any second inspiration. She loves a reverse.
I don't know. Is she going to go again like Jones?
Instead tries to play more traditional. She smacked it straight at mid-on. Who has managed to cling on? Or has she? Yes, it seems like Niamh Holland has taken the catch. That is a magnificent take. You so often see someone hit the elbow on the ground and it bounce out. But Holland has clung on, and Spence has to go for a 2-ball duck. Somerset fighting back. I mean, 35 for 2.
How cricket is that? We've seen 2 that should have been taken, absolute goobers, missed and dropped in the end. And then this one, the worldie, coming in off the rope, manages diving forward, hits the ground, gets her hands under it, claims a catch.
Well, there was a moment of hesitation where I think many around just thought, wow, has she actually scooped that up? But she certainly had. So it's a 2-ball duck for exciting young Jemima Spence. And out to the crease comes Alice Monaghan. Monaghan, who's been a very handy pickup for Surrey since signing from the Vipers in the reshuffle in 2024. This is a better angle of it, charging in and then manages to get that right hand, almost claw-like, underneath both her body and in front of the ground to scoop it up. Who knows how important that could prove.
Well, Alice Monaghan can hit a big ball. She does really well coming in down the order sometimes for Surrey, just to finish off the innings with a flurry. We've seen what she can do for this Surrey side, especially on their way to being Blast champions last year. But this is a very different occasion.
Goes back and can't make contact. Born in Hampshire, came through as one part of that incredible Vipers dynasty during the regional era.
Feels like so many players have come through the Vipers Academy at some point.
Oh, the LBW appeals from Barnes. Nothing given, but it is a dot, which particularly in a short form game like this really is enormously important. And this has been a great fight back from the Somerset spinners. Needed to be as well because Surrey were flying. Comes down the track, great strong shot, meeting it on the half volley and down the track for 4 from Monaghan. Lovely response.
Yeah, that's a beautiful bit of work from Alice Monaghan. It's all in the footwork. She just shuffles down and gets herself to the pitch of that ball. Sounded beautiful out the middle of the bat as well. Goes aerial, knows she's safe, just bisects long on and long off. Bags herself a boundary.
Similar ball to Barnes from one we saw earlier on in the over, just finding that awkward back of a length. 39 for 2 off 3, so that is a great over. It's gone for just 4 and it's picked up a wicket.
You just think back just a couple of overs ago, before that Bryony Smith run out, that really was just a lack of communication. It was Chatley really that caused it. Barbecued her captain, who was flying. But you've got to take your opportunities when you're gifted a wicket like that. And yes, Somerset have put a couple down, but incredible catch from Niamh Holland. And also they've been fairly tidy, not any extras bowled by this Somerset side either.
Harris is going to get the second over it, and I can see why. The 19-year-old's first was excellent in a pressure situation. That has dribbled off something for one. Under 19 international has been one of this nucleus of exciting young talent coming through for Somerset. Deep set onside field. Monaghan might well go inside out through the offside, I reckon. Perfect line and length. Bit of drift, bit of turn. A lot to like there from Harris. Monaghan will get just one.
Yeah, this has been quite some response by Somerset. If you think about it, 22 came off that very first over. Now they're at 41 after 3.5. So it's been dragged back by the fielding side. A couple of wickets falling, building that pressure of dots, not allowing them to get it through the ring.
And this is just past extra cover. Fielded by Skelton. They want two, and they will just about get through for two. That's excellent scamperage. The situation demands it. The Somerset fight back continuing though. The last 12 balls now have brought just 1-2 boundaries, which in the context of a 5-over game, and a lot of dots as well. Down the track. Straight at mid-on and dropped again. Niamh Holland.
Well, she took an absolute screamer just an over or two ago, and this time got herself all confused. Came forward, went back again, and in the end just put it down.
I mean, the one thing that does come to mind is there's probably a bit of the ball being a bar of soap with that wet outfield. That is still one you would expect to be taken.
And just as Mother Cricket always awards, the next ball comes to her as well.
Thankfully for Holland, she does field cleanly. So 45 for 2 then off 4. In an innings of almost 2 halves really, before and after Bryony Smith got out. That's been the tale of the tape. But there's still one over here, and a big over for Surrey would get them up around that 60, that 2-a-ball kind of region that feels like a really good total.
Yeah, well, they've already surpassed what Essex made from their 5 overs. Chatley 14 from 8, Monaghan now 6 from 7. So into the very final over of the first innings in this second semi-final. Winner of this game meets the Blaze in the final.
Down the track, and has managed to get this perfectly between the 2 and for 6 as well. So Monaghan, who'd been really struggling before that ball, has doubled her score in 1 hit.
Yeah, wonderful looking shot, well beyond that boundary, so it pushes them up over that 50 mark now. 51 for 2, 5 deliveries still to come for Surrey.
Makes room, being creative. Nothing given. He's dribbling towards the rope, but it will be stopped. Excellent fielding. That's the kind of desperation you want out in the field. There's mini moments that can add up and make such a big difference across an occasion. Lola Harris, backed up by Bex Odgers. Just the 4 balls left, 6 needed to get past that 2-a-ball mark. And this is going to be more runs. It will be 4 of them. So Surrey starting to re-find a bit of acceleration. This final over's gone for 13 off 3. Chatley will feel that little bit less bad about running out her captain now she's played a shot like that.
Yeah, you've got to make up for it, haven't you? You run them out and then you don't want to make eye contact if you then get yourself out cheaply, or you chew up deliveries, especially in the really shortened format here. She's now 18 from 9, so going to a ball herself.
Goes on the paddle. Hasn't beaten short third though. So Chatley will get that's the one. Surrey pathway since being a 9-year-old. She's part of that generation of cricketers that made their county debuts very early. County debut just after turning 14. Kira Chatley, Surrey veteran. On the track, but palmed away. And it's pretty good cricket all round because they will get back for 2. So that leaves us with just 1 ball left, and Surrey past that 60 mark that we mentioned, 61 for 2.
So this is hit out or get out, isn't it? This next delivery, she's going to have a big old swing, I would expect.
Look at Chatley. Chatley's like a sprinter in the blocks of the 100 metres. 1 is all that they're going to get there, regardless of how enthusiastically the non-striker is backing up. So it is a big final over of the innings. It's gone for 16, and it gives Surrey an imposing first innings total, having been sent in this second semi-final, fighting for the right to meet Blaze. They posted 62 for 2, which feels at the very least a very good score, if not above par.
Yeah, I would say above par, although the way they started, they looked like they were going to go well north of this. Dragged back by Somerset, who can be buoyed by their performance in the middle there, but they've seen what Surrey are able to do, and you sort of think, right, if they can do it on this, why not us? But at the same time, that is quite a mountain to climb. 63, that target, from just 5 overs against a strong bowling attack that this Surrey side have. And they also are a team that know how to win trophies. They're being watched on, all of them, by Essex, who lost that first semi-final. Now can able to just put their feet up and enjoy their Saturday afternoon viewing.
Yeah, so 63 to win then for Somerset in the very, very late Manchester afternoon. Some might say the evening. And 10.6 and over is needed for Somerset in the run chase.
You know what, it's been a long old day, Michael. When I got up at 5:30, it felt like it was basically still yesterday, so it's the afternoon if you ask me. Did we have lunch? Who remembers? I've already had a sleep, so it's actually nearly tomorrow. So 63 will be that target.
Let's have a look back at the highlights of that first innings.
Get involved. Get healthier. Get rewarded. Win a hospitality experience for you and 3 friends, plus a signed bat with Vitality Health and Life Insurance. Scan to get a quote and enter.
All the fun and all the games, they all start here with All Stars Cricket. Skills, friendships, smiles, dreams. It all happens here. Every session is all-out action. All invited, even mums and dads. Tap, ball, catch, go.
All start with All Stars.
We look cool and feel amazing.
Our games are full of action.
way we play. Give it 100. Sign up now.
What are you doing here? You're here to see me? Well, come on then, I'm Edie. I'm 9, and this is my way to play. This is my club, Oakham. England have got their superstars, and I've got mine. Let me introduce them to you. First, the team keeping us fed. That smells good, Mum. Best clean cricket. Meet the ground staff. They made the pitch perfect so I can hit massive sixes. That's massive! We're one big family here at Oakham. Speaking of family, that's my sister Charlotte. She taught me to score, and that's my brother Will. I played for his team once. I was the only one who didn't get out. Meet my coaches. They're helping me to become an England wicketkeeper, just like Amy Jones. I'm small, but I'm ready for anything. Right, Delesh? Yeah. Imagine the most fun you can have. And double it, and double it, and double it again! But on a match day, we mean business. Girls, someone wants to say good luck.
Lightning fast behind the stumps, Edie.
Let's go, Oakham!
Every cricketer starts somewhere, with the people who make it possible, my team, my club, and my heroes. I couldn't play the game without them, and I wouldn't change a single thing.
Get involved. Get healthier. Get rewarded. Win a hospitality experience for you and 3 friends, plus a signed bat with Vitality Health and Life Insurance. Scan to get a quote and enter.
All the fun and all the games, they all start here with All Stars Cricket. Skills, friendships, smiles, dreams. It all happens here. Every session is all-out action. All invited, even mums and dads. That, ball, catch, go.
All Star and All Stars.
We look cool and feel amazing.
Our games are full of action.
This is the way we play. Give it 100. Sign up now.
What are you doing here? You're here to see me? Well, come on then, I'm Edie. I'm 9, and this is my way to play. This is my club, Oakham. England have got their superstars, and I've got mine. Let me introduce them to you. First, the team keeping us fed. That smells good, Mum. Best clean cricket. Meet the ground staff. They made the pitch perfect so I can hit massive sixes. That's massive! We're one big family here at Oakham. Speaking of family, that's my sister Charlotte. She taught me to score, and that's my brother Will. I played for his team once. I was the only one who didn't get out. Meet my coaches. They're helping me to become an England wicketkeeper, just like Amy Jones. I'm small, but I'm ready for anything. Right, Delesh? Yeah. Imagine the most fun you can have. And double it, and double it, and double it again! But on a match day, we mean business. Girls, someone wants to say good luck.
Lightning fast behind the stumps, Edie.
Let's go, Oakham!
Every cricketer starts somewhere, with the people who make it possible, my team, my club, and my heroes. I couldn't play the game without them, and I wouldn't change a single thing.
Welcome back to Old Trafford for the run chase in semi-final 2. 63 to win for Somerset against Surrey, who got there primarily thanks to an imperious 25 off 7 from their skipper, Bryony Smith. And how can Somerset's captain, Sophie Luff, respond? Luff, someone who I'm sure plenty of you will know her name if you follow women's domestic cricket in England and Wales for any period of time at all, really. Can count herself quite unlucky to not have at least one, if not a fair few England caps to her name. She had a sensational 100 for the Trent Rockets, and she earned that contract through her excellent form for Somerset in T20 cricket this season. She's going to be enormous for this run chase. Kalia Moore to bowl the first ball of it, and it's Bex Odgers who will face up. Luff is at the non-striker's end, deep mid-wicket and long on out. Odgers starts by getting this just wide of Davison Richards at mid-off. An early boundary for Surrey and for Bex Odgers.
And a massive cheer from the Somerset camp down to our left here. Beautiful looking shot. First up by Odgers. Uses her feet straight away and drives it nicely straight between the gap. Diving effort from Alice Davidson Richards. It's actually a quick outfield given the rain.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Massive credit to the ground staff. Tough day, to say the least. That's a low full toss, and that's gone through covers for 4 more. What a start from Odgers, 2 in 2.
Yeah, that was a freebie right there from Callie Moore. Full toss outside off, and all she really had to do was just clear the infield, get it either side, racing away. So back-to-back boundaries. Interesting combination to start with Callie Moore when you don't really have many overs of the power play to go for spin on a day like today.
Comes down the track, tries to turn that into a full toss. That was sort of stop it or wear it stuff from ADR, who managed to stop it. Excellent fielder that she is. So 9 off 3 for Odgers, who had a strike rate of 140 in the blast. She is perfect for injecting energy up top, and now she brings on to strike someone who's probably had as good a summer as anybody has had, quite frankly, in Sophie Luff. And she's skied it up. She could be gone first ball. She is gone first ball. The form batter in the country. Sophie Luff is out for a golden duck in the final. 9 for 1. Kalia Moore gets it right, and the sky is held, and that is a massive moment because Luff has been nothing short of sensational this summer.
I think you've given her the commentator's curse well and truly. Goes across the stumps, looking to get it over square leg. Probably disappointed with that one, just catches the top edge and goes straight up. Very simple catch for 45, and the in-form Sophie Luff has to depart. I mean, she probably looked back at that and thought, I probably should have just gone down the ground.
Yeah, I totally see it, particularly with the shorter boundaries. It is the broom shot fetched from outside off, though, on the soup is one of her best shots. So that was probably her thinking with square leg up. She's already passed 50 twice against Surrey this season, including one innings she described as her best innings for Somerset, 82 not out in a win in the blast at the Oval. So if there's any team pleased to see the back of her, you can bet it's Surrey.
Heather Knight, former England captain, making her way out to the middle.
I was going to say young rookie who's just restarted playing for Somerset after a brief career break, but that's a different way of putting it. Starts with some nice footwork, but can't get it past Moore.
It's an interesting situation. I would love to know how many times in her career has she been in a situation like this one before.
Comes down the track, and this is very high, but ADR running back. Takes the catch. That's a magnificent catch from Alice Davison Richards. Has had to backpedal a good 15 yards there, and Luff and Knight are gone in the same over to Kalia Moore. The 2 big wickets in this Somerset lineup, and the former England captain is gone for a second ball duck.
Well, after being struck for boundaries in her first 2 deliveries, what a finish to the over here. Heather Knight, the big, dangerous Heather Knight, the wicket she would have so desperately wanted in that lineup. But I have to commend the catch by Alice Davidson Richards. That was a difficult chance. She was running backwards around 15-20 yards at least, kept her eye on the ball, turned around well in time, and set herself up nicely before taking that catch. It was truly brilliant. That is the hardest catch in the book.
Well, it's the old over-the-shoulder one. It's the one all the players talk about being the biggest nightmare. And so Knight has to go 44 in the quarter-final against Hampshire, having been drawn to come back and play for Somerset, having been in that sort of management role in the 100. So Somerset need other heroes. Odgers is joined by Corney. Monaghan has the ball in her hand. And Somerset are already behind the rate, of course, as well. They need 54 to win from 4, so that required rate has already jumped to 13 and over. Monaghan goes short. Flat batted. Not really time. We'll plug for a couple.
I feel like that is exactly what's happening, isn't it? When you're not quite getting, I'd probably say getting hold of it as well enough. It is plugging as it lands on the ground. It's not travelling as much. However, when you then hit it along the carpet, it's actually flying.
It's a bit like skimming a stone on a river. If you get it right, if there's enough momentum, it will skip across. Swipe and a miss. Well bowled by Monaghan, hanging it outside that off stump with a deep third and a deep backward square leg. Odgers is going to be enormously important here. This is someone that was striking at north of 140 in the blast. Very few players were doing that. Watch out for her reverses against seam. I wouldn't be surprised if she thinks of a reverse here against Monaghan. Something she's got in her locker.
They have to try something different. 52 of 22 required.
And this has got past Smith at mid-off, so that will be 4. Great strong shot from Odgers. Nice timing over pitch from Monaghan, who lost her length.
It's actually working out better to hit the ball along the carpet, and it could actually be a good tactic for the batting side as well to get the ball as wet as possible. So it's difficult for the bowlers to actually grip the ball, and we'll have to really use the towels to dry it out. But a great looking shot by Odgers, and just with the power she strikes it with.
Power play done. Yeah, it's very easy to see why Odgers has been a big part of this Somerset evolution in Erin Osborne's first season as head coach. Deep set onside field now. But Monaghan's just lost her line. She's trying to give... It's a weird wide. As a captain, I don't think you necessarily mind that. She's trying to bowl to the plan, which is to cramp Odgers for room. I think if it was an offside wide, Bryony Smith would in some ways be more frustrated.
Well, with this field set where she's got a deep mid-wicket, deep square leg, a fine leg and a deep backward point, almost a wide third, she's going to have to go into the wicket. Anything full is going to go straight over her head.
Well, overcompensating Monaghan. So that's back-to-back wides from Alice Monaghan. She's just got to re-find her composure. It's still more than 2 a ball needed here for Somerset, who have often, with a relatively inexperienced squad, found a way to win games this season without their higher profile England players. Well, this time, Knight and Luff both out without scoring in the first over. They need to do it again. And that will help. Inside out through extra cover for 4. Another good shot from Odgers, who looks in great touch. 19 off 7 for her.
Has 12 of Monaghan's 4 deliveries. She didn't actually get completely hold of that one, but it manages to race away to the boundary. The plan's quite clear, isn't it? Comes down the track, into out, and smacks it right over extra cover. No one out on the offside in front of the wicket.
Yeah,
anything full from Monaghan is going to go, so she really ideally has to go into the wicket and almost try and cramp Odgers for room. I'd even be tempted to go for the bouncer. She has it in her. She's got the pace behind her. Throw her the surprise bouncer. Oh, she does bring a change in field. Fine leg comes up and long on goes back. But I would have liked to have seen her go for the bouncer.
Goes Fuller, and instead this has got past extra cover. Boundary in a similar area, different way that it got there, but similar intent from Odgers. She's going to charge at Monaghan and she's going to target that pocket, and she's done it twice in a row. So this is the big over that Somerset really needed.
Well, Monaghan's been put under the pump really by Odgers, hasn't she? And just has not bowled according to her plan, unfortunately. She is a very good bowler, very skillful one. has got a bit of pace behind her, but I feel because Odgers has managed to get on top of her in her first 3 deliveries, she might have just lost the track of her plan, but I'd like to see some sort of a change up here.
I was going to say, I'd love to see a slower into the wicket, maybe an off-cutter. Well, there we go. It's not that, but it's the bouncer that Shachipai ordered on the menu from a couple of balls away, and it was a great bouncer, the best ball of the over. So Monaghan still ends up conceding 16, but she gets out with a dot at the end of it. 25 for 2. At this stage, they are 10 runs behind where Surrey were. Somerset need 38 from their last 3, just over 2 a ball. And victory in the final will have them singing the Blackbird all night long.
I love that. I love that. We're just looking to our screens on the left, the crowd who has so patiently been here all day, and you know, young girls out there giving their best boogie.
All part of the fun and the fair of a finals day. See a good smattering of spectators around who've stuck around, and it's great to see them getting rewarded. Danny Gregory with her flat leg breaks. That's an excellent start. She's got history in this competition as well. 3 for 20 in last season's semi-final win against the Bears before finishing runners-up. Very modern leg spinner. She doesn't give it a lot of drift. She's got quick, straight off the toe end for Corney, who might want to recheck her snooker cue, but Somerset I don't think will mind that too much because it gets Odgers back on strike.
And they're going to need a lot of boundaries here. 37 now required of 16 deliveries. I'm just thinking back to the damage that was, you know, really caused in that final over.
Goes on the reverse, misses out. Surrey scored 16 off their final over and 22 off their first. The 3 in between, they only actually went to 8 and over. The spinners for Somerset held things down quite nicely. Down the track, and that is enormous. Well, that has gone 10 rows back. That is a big, big 6, even by the standards of Bex Odgers. That might be the biggest 6 we've seen all day.
All day, I'm going all season. That was absolutely monstrous. What a strike. That is belting from Odgers. She is striking the ball as good as anything today. Sees it comes down the track and full swing of the bat. Wow, that I would love to know how that was. Surely in the 80s.
Absolutely. And Odgers sweeps this time, but it's gone, caught right on the rope. A really well-judged catch from Phoebe Franklin. Mere metres from back-to-back 6s, but Bex Odgers goes. She scored almost all the runs in the entire innings so far. 29 off 12 for her, 32 for 3. An enormous wicket for Danny Gregory.
Well, that's a huge moment in the game right there. Odgers, who was looking so dangerous, going for another big one, and she really had to. For a moment there, we all thought she got hold of it, but she had a lot of elevation, not quite the distance, but a brilliant catch taken by Phoebe Franklin in the deep. She's such a great fielder.
Well, I think that's one you put in the same book as Liberty Heap's flick off her pads in the semi-final. You've actually played a shot that on a lot of other grounds with shorter square boundaries is definitely 6. You've just hit the longest part of the ground and you've been caught on the rope. And sometimes you live by the sword and die by the sword. It was a great knock from Bex Odgers, doing St Austell and Cornwall proud. It's a lot of Cornish representation.
You sometimes get trapped in there, as I mentioned, at Old Trafford, because the square boundaries are so big, and as you mentioned at other grounds, that could have well been a boundary.
Niamh Holland, who was outstanding in the blast for Somerset as an all-rounder. And has not got that over cover, so it's 2 wickets in 2 balls. And suddenly, in the blink of an eye, Danny Gregory is on a hat-trick. 32 for 4 then at the end of the 3rd over, and Somerset are in all sorts of a pickle.
Well, she had to go for it there. It's the right shot to play. She's just not executed that whatsoever. trying to go over extra cover, but really probably just plays across it, catches the leading edge of the bat, and an easy catch for Priyanas Chatterjee at extra cover. Yeah, Somerset, four players back into the shed, and all the big important ones as well. First it was Sophie Love, followed by Heather Knight, then it was Odgers, and now Niamh Holland, so all informed batters.
Yeah, she got a career best 75 off 44 in the third round win against Yorkshire at Scarborough. She's been having her best short form season with the bat ever, but Holland is gone. So Alex Griffiths joins Emma Corney out there, who's been out there a little while just watching a lot of the carnage at the other end. Now she's got to face up to Kalia Moore, who has 2 for 9. Moore has a happy habit of picking up wickets on finals days for Surrey, and she's doing it again here. And she might have got a stumping there. She hasn't. Sharp work behind the stumps from Spence, but not quite sharp enough.
Yeah, Corney looking to almost play that across, very flat batted it, but I'd actually be more happy for her to try and hit it through the offside, as everyone is up or long off.
More than 3 a ball. We're up 2 around now, but well, that will help. That'll be 6 from that one for Corney, who hasn't got hold of any of her first 3, but that is a monster. Long boundary, no problem for Emma Corney.
Yeah, beautifully picked up by Emma Corney. That one just angling into her down the track, and she whips that over mid-wicket. Oh, she timed that beautifully.
National under-18 champion with Devon. She described that as her biggest cricket achievement. Surely winning senior silverware with Somerset would trump that. Can she go again? Shot. She can go again. She's thumped that down the ground. She's met Moore down the track, turns it into a half volley, and that keeps things very, very much alive. 21 to get off 9.
So interesting. Brutally struck down the ground, and the ball racing away. No chance for Alice Monaghan in the deep there. I think she is quite wide for a long off, and that was quite straight. It went and hit the advertising board of David Lloyd. It was.
Moore looking to dry the ball and re-find her composure. She's coming right arm around, and it might have done the trick. It has done the trick. Straight at long on. It's a regulation catch for a fielder of the quality of Alice Davison-Richards, who took a screamer earlier on. 42 for 5. And Corney trying to go for 3 boundaries in a row. Has to perish for 11 off 6. And Somerset are still behind the 8 ball here.
Yeah, that was an easy catch, wasn't it? She couldn't have picked that fielder out any better. Change of angles from Callie Moore works wonders for her. Probably a better plan of action to the field she has set. And no mistake by Alice Davison-Richards. Her second catch for this innings. And Callie Moore in with 3 wickets. It's a very similar one to her last time, when she, went for around 8 or 9 runs in her first 3 deliveries and then picked up consecutive wickets. And once again, in her first 3 deliveries, she went for 10 runs and now has picked up a wicket. 5 down for Somerset, 42 runs on the board, still 21 needed of 8.
Both batters haven't faced yet. And the first ball faced by Griffiths is stopped by Smith, so that will be just 1. 20 to win from 7. In fact, it was Skelton there, so Griffiths will face up now. Part of that Western Storm team that won in 2019, what feels like many, many, many moons ago. Griffiths. And so we go to the final over, and you would say the cards are more in the favour of Surrey after an excellent spell from Kalia Moore. She almost won player of the match last season in this final in a losing cause. She got 4 for 27 in defeat against Lancashire. Well, she's produced 3 for 21 off 2 there, which is majestic in this format. 19 to win from the last.
I think she's done well to hold her nerve, and obviously, it helps with the scoreboard pressure. The Somerset batters here do have to take the chance and probably feel like she's the bowler they have to target, and that often brings wickets.
Danny Gregory with 19 to win from the last. Somerset needing a bit of a miracle. Griffiths down the ground. It won't be cut off. An early boundary, just what Somerset craved. 15 to win from 5.
She's keeping them in the game. She is very much keeping them in the game. Really good shot by Alex Griffiths. She stopped on that one a little bit, but it was hit straight enough so Alice Davison-Richards, that long on, could not stop it in time.
Well, I promised you a close game. I said it so often close between these two. It's serving up quite the treat. Wants 2 in the gap. Might have got 4. Alice Davidson-Richards, Superwoman away to her right. Her best Mary Earps or Hannah Hampton impression, and Phoebe Franklin's there to do the rest. So 2, 13 to get from 4.
Yeah, Griffiths did not time that one as well as she could have done. I feel if she possibly could have timed that a little bit more, it probably was on its way for another boundary.
Somerset need at least 2 boundaries, at a minimum. And that could well be one of them. That is one of them. It's hit like a tracer bullet. Perfect shot over the umpire's head. This is just the game that keeps on giving. 9 to win from 3.
We waited all day. This is the exact type of entertainment I was after. And thank you, Alex Griffiths, because you are making this into a game that we have all wanted. What a brilliant stroke that was. Down the track, straight over Danny Gregory's head, giving her absolutely no chance for the 2 fielders.
Well, we were discussing what the equivalent of a final over finishes in T20 in a 5-over game. I think this is pretty much it. 9 to win from 3 to take Somerset into their first domestic final since back in the Storm days of 2019. Oh, what a ball! What a ball! Pushed into the pitch from Gregory, and Griffiths is stumped by a country mile. So 9 to win from 2, and Griffiths, who'd looked in such good touch in that over, has to go. This is really smart cricket from Danny Gregory.
Very good bowling. She had a little bit of chat with her teammates there just before that ball was bowled. Took a moment there just to gather her plan, gather her thoughts, and just bowled it slightly slower outside the off stump and used the surface to do the rest. I feel Alice Griffiths there slightly premeditated to come down the track. Had she stayed in her crease with the offside field up, that could have actually been a dangerous ball. But I feel Danny Gregory did sense it, so it was very clever bowling from her.
Well, she's a level 3 coach. She's got that kind of coach's brain, Gregory. She'll be in a coaching box for sure one day when she's not playing. She just gave it a bit more flight than she normally does. So, can Jess Hazel be Somerset's hero? 9 to win from 2. Well, that could well be 4 of them to the long boundary. It might plug. It won't. It won't. So 5 to win from 1. It's a super over.
We're going for a super over. If there's a tie...
Shachi Pai wondering what happens if there's a tie. It's a super over. And then if it's level, it's another super over.
I was going to say, does that mean that we just keep going on the super overs and it's not going on boundary count?
We'll
you know, like I just
definitely
want to
not
know.
boundary count, yeah.
Okay.
A la 2019.
Well, they'll have
Cup final.
They'll have a bit of a chat here. So can I just say, before this over, Danny Gregory bowled 1 over for 7 runs and picked up 2 wickets. And right now, she's gone for 14 runs in her 4 deliveries, but has picked up a wicket. Now, this is the all-important. Can young Jess Hazel find a way to get the ball to the rope?
4 to take us to a super over, a 6 to win it. Into the pitch. It won't be either. It will surely be Surrey's game unless they really do something daft. It's going to be 2, but 2 is not enough. And it is Surrey who edge over the line in a fixture that consistently is such a close one between these 2 teams. And Somerset, having fought so hard to get themselves finally into a finals day, fall short. And Surrey, the 2025 Blast winners, but out in the semis of the Blast at home this season and runners-up in this competition last season, have got themselves into a final. It is Surrey who win a pulsating second semi-final by just 2 runs.
I mean, what a game we've had, right? What a 5-over game. It's the best 5-over game I've watched for sure. But you have to commend Somerset batters. Each and every single one of them kept them in the game with the type of aggressive batting that they played, and I know they had to, but they all came in with amazing intentions and a great way to, you know, find a boundary. I almost think almost every single one of their batters, you know, had a very clear plan of how they're going to play the bowlers, but Surrey managed to hold their nerves. Danny Gregory, smart bowler, very smart, and you can see that both times she sort of didn't, you know, took composure. She went wide of the crease to the to the batter, making sure that there was not much pace to work with. And in the end, it is going to be Surrey versus the Blaze in the final. What a final we're in for. It feels like it's going to be an absolute treat.
You would have seen Heather Knight in shot there. Who knows how many more times we have the joy of seeing her in a Somerset shirt, but the heroine for Surrey, no doubt, the toast of Surrey for now is Danny Gregory. More information on the final to come relatively shortly. There's been a half an hour gap between semi-final 1 and 2, and in fact I'm reliably informed that there's a toss at 7:15, which is in just 8 minutes or so's time, a 7:45 p.m. start, and it's 13 overs between both teams. Hopefully the rain relents and the 2026 County Cup can be finished on the field. What is for sure is, as long as the rain doesn't get involved once more, we've got a ripping final ahead. Surrey against Blaze. Surrey, the 2025 Blast champions. Blaze, the most consistent side in the country across the last 4 seasons. Blaze, the 2026 Blast champions. And of course, they knocked Surrey out of the Blast in the semis at the Oval. So many great storylines in a game like this. And Surrey, of course, were in the County Cup final last year as well, when they were beaten by a certain Kate Cross, Sophie Eccleston and company for Lancashire. So they'll want a little bit of revenge to Blaze for them knocking them out the Blast at the Oval, and they'll want a bit of revenge of finally getting their hands on this competition.
Look, I definitely think it's the best 2 teams in the comp that have really been there this year in terms of the T20 format, and rightly deserves so. I think we're in for an absolute cracker. If both of these teams play to the best of their ability, we'll be in for a right treat.
13 overs is a funny sort of distance.
Interesting one.
We've just got used to the 5 over format.
Are you superstitious? What do you think of that number? I would have gone for 12 or 14. Like, I'm not sure about this 13.
And the way it breaks down as well, going to be interesting how people captain, because with 13, I would assume you get 3 bowlers that can bowl 3 overs, so you need to pick really carefully who that might be. Toss coming up for the final then in just over 5 minutes or so, with the start to come in 35 minutes. But for now, after a fantastic second semi-final, we can now confirm it's Surrey against Blaze in the 2026 County Cup final.